showtime is here, so on with the show. Let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
You are never, in a billion years, gonna see the Epstein files, and I'm gonna tell you why. That plus our boomers just the greediest generation? Ciao, we gotta talk. Let's talk.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged. It's the Karel Cast. Listen daily on your favorite streaming service.
It is the Karel Cast. I am Karel. Happy Wednesday, November 19th. Smile, boobies up. Here we go. Let's forge into the world, shall we? Miss Ember, where'd you go? Where are you going, little girl? Don't you want to listen to the show today? You don't even know what the topics are before you're just rushing out the room. Jesus Christ. Sometimes dogs are quite the discerning audience. Do you know that Ember has listened to every show I've ever done because she's always with me? More than a lot of you. She's heard every show. All right, I'm going to tell you why you're never going to see him. Never. You're never going to see the Epstein files. Never. Oh, I know about all the votes, 427-1, and then Congress fast-tracked it right on through. And why do you think MAGA and Donald J. Trump allowed that to happen? Why? Because he's in it and he's going to be indicted for things inside of it? No. Because they know beyond the shadow of any doubt that you are never going to see the files. Now, let me get some cocoa power here. Me and my waddly neck. Turkey neck. Well, it's Thanksgiving time. So how is this going to happen? I'm going to tell you. And I am telling you, those files are they're never gonna be seen. There's no way that I'm not a queen. No way. No way he'll ever let you read them. You're not going to read them. He wants to stay free. I'm saying that you will never see them. You'll never see them. I would say, Randy Rainbow, you can have that, but bitch, you can't sing that way, and you know it. All right, so why? Why, Karel? Why? Tell me why. Can you tell me why? Why are we never going to see the Epstein files? Well, can any of you take a guess? James Schnabel, they're in the chat room. Hi, James Schnabel in Pennsylvania. Hi, Sandy at youtube.com/reallykarel. Hi, everybody. Can any of you tell me why you are never, ever going to see those files? Anybody? Because I can tell you. And I'm gonna, as soon as I stop the music playing out in the living room, because I got to tell you, it's annoying. Okay, there we go. Thank God for automation. Well, here's the deal. The deal is not just a group with LA and Babyface. The deal is the deal. And let me tell you what the deal is. Although it really was a group with LA and Babyface. The deal is that they all voted for this big bill, the Epstein Transparency Act. So you can see right through him. I need some cocoa, clear my throat. Well, here's the deal. In the bill that went through the House and the Senate and got to Donald Trump's desk, and he'll make a huge deal about signing it, it says that they have to release the Epstein files. The Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, release them. Except, caveat, loophole, except the files or documents that are related to any ongoing investigations. Because when there is an ongoing investigation, law enforcement cannot release any files. What did Donald Trump do on Friday? Anybody? Raise your hand. What did Donald Trump do? He ordered Pam Bondi to start an investigation into the high-ranking Democrats that are in the Epstein files. So what does that mean, Karel? Well, it means that there is now an ongoing investigation into the Epstein files and the people that are in it. So all the Republicans get to say, we voted for the release of those files. And every senator gets to say, we voted for the release of those files. And Donald Trump gets to say, I signed the bill for the release of those files. And then the Justice Department is going to say, and we will release them as soon as we wrap up this ongoing investigation.
ReallyKarel.com daily. You're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at ReallyKarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
So first and foremost, you ain't going to get to see the files because they're going to say there is an ongoing investigation into these files. We cannot possibly release files when there is an ongoing investigation. That would be unethical and illegal. So Trump and the Congress get all the benefits of saying release the files. They voted for it. They signed it. They get all the benefits of it. And then Pam Bondi gets to say, nix on tricks. There is an ongoing investigation, and we're not going to release them until it's over. And when will that be over? 2028. You're never going to see the files. He never intended for you to see the files. This is all a grift. It's all performative. It's all a show. And if you don't think that's the truth, then you are sadly, sadly mistaken. Because you're never going to see them. No, you're never going to get it. No, you're never going to get them. Not this time. Never, ever going to get them. Those files. You're just never going to get them. They left themselves a loophole because that's what rich, powerful people do. They protect themselves and each other. And there is no way that Mike Johnson, Donald J. Trump, Pam Bondi, or any of the scalawags that are in this file are going to let them be released. And so it's all a show. Oh, look, we all voted to release them. So when they go out and campaign, no one can hold it against them that they weren't for the release of the Epstein files. We said we wanted to release them. But here's the friggin' thing that you also need to understand. None of this had to happen because the orange poof in chief, guess what? He could instruct the Justice Department this moment to release the files. He didn't need an act of Congress. He could just have called up Pam and said, hey, girl, what's up? Go ahead, release the files. But no. They're going to make such a huge deal. See, we're totally transparent. We have pushed for the release of the files. It is not our fault the Justice Department won't release them because of an ongoing investigation. That's not our fault. We want them released just like you. We feel your pain. We understand that you want them released, and we understand we made these campaign promises to do just that, but the Justice Department is looking into an investigation. And who started the investigation? Who? Donald Trump. And when did he start it? 4 days before the vote to release the files. And why did he do that? To make sure the files are never released. It's all a grift. Everything these people do is a scam, is a grift. These are despicable, horrible people. They are not, repeat, are not going to let themselves be shamed in public. Oh, they'll throw people like Larry Ellison under the bus and, Prince Andrew and stuff like that. But they ain't throwing Donald under that bus. They also said they won't release any victims' names or any pornographic images. Well, aren't those evidence? Oh, and they won't release any of the grand jury proceedings because those are sealed. From who? Who the fuck pays for the grand jury? We do. Who are they prosecuting people on behalf of? Us. The people versus. But the people who pay for the grand jury, the people who pay the lawyers that go in and argue in front of the grand jury, the people can't see the proceedings of the grand jury. Isn't that special? I mean, really. They got this down. They got this down, honey. They ain't new to this. They ain't new. Let's see what they're saying in the chat room at youtube.com/Willie Karel. John Slade says, well, the people that saw them, that Trump fired, will talk and tell what they saw. Not if they don't want to die. Trump killed Epstein, in my opinion, or had him killed. He didn't go down to the jail and do it himself. But, you know, he probably said to someone, take care of him. And taken care of he was. They did not destroy the files or any of them because they have copies at the estate. The estate can't release the grand jury, the estate. There's files that the estate does not have. The victim should talk. Yes, they should. But they won't. Because, again, death. That's not entirely true. A judge can order them to release them to state investigators. No, they cannot. That's a lie. I can read you the story from the Washington Post that says, if there is an ongoing investigation, it's in the bill. They put it in the law that if there is an ongoing investigation, the files pertaining to that investigation will not be released. It's in the, I had ChatGPT read the entire bill and then summarize it for me. So, you know, dudes, I've done it. I've done the research for you. And trust me on this. Kennedy Christopher, something's rigged. No crap. Colonel Angus, Kennedy, the deck is stacked and the dice are loaded. Amen. I live in Vegas, baby. These casinos don't make billions of dollars by giving you all these payouts. They give you one little nugget, one little piece of cheese to keep you coming back. But they ain't going to give you the whole damn cheese log, honey. Well, you're going to get some nuggets like the Larry Ellison thing, the Prince Andrew thing, this Michael Wolff stuff. You're going to get some nuggets, but you ain't getting the cheese log. That just ain't happening, children. Now, some of you may wonder what happened to Karel. What happened to Karel? Why is he happier? Why is he more vibrant? Why is his show not a big slog anymore? Because I'm sick of being a slog. You know, I could die tomorrow. All this medical crap. Today I get my stitches out for the cancer. Tomorrow I go to a pulmonologist. I'm terrified, but my lungs seem to be working. This is the moment. I'm not gagging and choking. So no matter what the pulmonologist says, I ain't dropping off the planet tomorrow. So while I'm here, it was a good time. It was the best time. We better have a good time. And I just love watching this crap play out because all these suckers, Democrats might as well put big old sucker stickers on their forehead. They really think they're going to see these files. I mean, really? Alphaba has, Cynthia Erivo has a better chance of actually being able to fly, defying gravity, than you or I have of seeing those files. Because the whiz behind the curtain may not have any real power, but he does have the ability to manipulate. And manipulate he is, honey. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. When will it be rigged for you and I? Oh, never. That question was in the chat room from Kennedy. Never. We are the pawns. Okay, so think about a chess board. Okay, I know a lot of you probably don't play. I play, but not well, but I play. I know the rules. So imagine a chess board. Okay? You and I, we're the ones out front. We're the cannon fodder. We're the pawns. Behind us are the things that we shield. The king, the queen, the rook, the bishop. The game is rigged for them. Okay? The king, the queen, the rook, the bishop. It is the knight. It ain't rigged for the pawn. The pawn goes out and dies. That's The Game. In the game of chess, which is getting terrible reviews on Broadway. I'm so sorry, Leah Michele. The play Chess, which has all these ABBA songs in it. So how could it be bad? And Leah Michele has an incredible voice, but getting bad reviews. Anyway, so, come on. Did you really think that they didn't have a plan B to keep these files from you? I mean, did you really think that they were going to pass this law and then sometime this week or next that they're just going to hand out stacks of paper and say, here's the files? No. Because there's an ongoing investigation into the Epstein doings, and therefore we can't release these files right now. Now we want to. Oh, it's in our little hearts. We so want to give you these files. We do, and if it were up to me, I would release them today, but my hands are tied. Yeah, just like Trump's were in the photos in the Epstein files. So that's where we're at with it, children. That's what's going to happen. That's where we're at. You can say you heard it here first. When it plays out this way in the media, you'll be that Karel. He is a sage, honey. Oh, I got to get some, actually, sage. You're gonna be like, he knows. He can call it. He can see it. I got the vision. I got the third eye blind. Really, I do. And I can see. I can predict the Justice Department. Oh, Lord Jesus, help me predict the future, Lord Jesus. Flow through me and show me your eternal machinations of time and let me know what the future holds, Lord Jesus. I see it, Lord Jesus. It's loud. It's clear. It's in a ring of light. Oh, wait, that's my ring light. Anyway, no. That's where we're at. We're the subject of an ongoing investigation. Mm-hmm. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. AI says a judge can determine what files can be released even if there's an ongoing investigation. No, he can't. AI is telling you wrong. I've asked a lawyer about this morning. If documents are sealed and there is an ongoing criminal investigation, they cannot release any files because the defense in the case can then say that it was prejudiced, that the prosecution was prejudiced by the release of the files. So, I mean, in theory, could they release them? Sure. Are they going to? No, because they'll claim prejudice, judicial prejudice. They'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court if they have to. A judge could say, no, you've got to release them. And then they end up in the Supreme, and the Supreme say, no, it would prejudice the jury pool. It would prejudice possible jurors. It would prejudice, the media would get a hold of it. Trust me, you ain't going to see them. All of this was an act, a big performance. The House always has the advantage. Take it from someone who lives in Sin City. The House has the advantage. They're not going to give the advantage to the people, ever. Ever. So I don't know why y'all think it's going to go that way this time, because it ain't. It ain't. We will never see the damning evidence from the files. Never. He will never see a day in jail. He will never pay the price for all of his crimes. Amen, Ray Renati. That is the truth. If that bothers you, go beat up a head of lettuce. Go toss a salad. Go do whatever you go. Go to the gym, get your aggressions out, go masturbate, whatever it takes for you to relieve that stress, because it ain't happening. Donald Trump will never stand trial for his crimes. He will die first, just like Goering. Goering ate a cyanide tablet instead of being hung for his crimes. Now, we know Donald is not hung in any way, and he will never, ever, ever pay for his crimes. Now, if that bothers you, oh, well, I'm sorry. It is a fact that we will have to deal with. Let me say the smartest man in the universe would never concede 100% of anything. So I will say this. There is a 98% chance that Donald Trump will never pay for his crimes. 98%. There's a slim 2% chance that maybe, just maybe, the stars will align, the Democrats will win the midterms, and then they'll take the presidency in 2028. But the minute that happens, he's on a plane to Mother Russia. I mean, don't act like he couldn't live comfortably in Russia. He wants to build the Trump Tower. I mean, come on. Don't be naive. Don't be naive, because you're just setting yourself up for heartbreak. We don't need no more heartbreak. So don't set yourself up for it. He's never going to see the inside of a jail cell unless he takes a tour of Alcatraz. And it's just going to keep getting worse for the next couple of years. That's the way it is. Democrats, did you hear about Texas? Did you hear? A judge said, Texas, you can't redraw this map right in the middle here. No. And you certainly can't withdraw this map to disenfranchise all these voters. No. Now, Texas is going to take it to the Supreme Court, but it might not get there in time for the 2026 elections. So the judge said, for 2026, you're leaving your map as it is. You want to change it? You change it later. Now, California, they voted on it. So I don't think a court's going to be able to overturn what California did. So Donald Trump and the Republicans might have just lost themselves the House. And that makes me happy. Makes me happy, 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 happy. When we come back, we got a lot to talk about when we come back. A lot. But is your sleep schedule depriving you of life? I read a great article about it. We'll talk about it when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Don't be disappointed.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Oh, yes, James Snable in the chat room at youtube.com/Really Karel. Extending the allegation indefinitely helps with fundraising for the next election cycle. Solving the crime makes people focus on our issues. Can't have that. Exactly. The Democrats will use the non-release of the files to fundraise. Republicans will use the fact that they voted for the release of the files to fundraise. And just lesser people will be involved and indicted. Nobody big. Alan Dershowitz ain't worried. Rudy Giuliani, the perv that he is not worried. You know? So I read this great article in the New Yorker this morning because I'm literate and I read. And it was all about how this woman's schedule of early to bed, early to rise is actually depriving her of life with her family. And she doesn't know what she can do about it, because it is her rhythm. Now, I got to tell you, I run into this all the time. I go to bed at between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. By 9:15, I'm already watching Murder, Death TV, and that puts me to sleep. Believe it or not, you can put on any documentary TV show, murder. I'm currently watching the Murder Tapes. I just watched New Orleans Homicide, which is a Dick Wolf production. And these are all real-life murder shows where they convict killers and all that. I've seen Snapped, and I've seen so many. I can't even count. And the minute the forensic files, the voice on the forensic files, I'm out. I mean, it's better than lithium. Just out. And so I take my edibles at 6:30 and 6:45, and I'm in bed by 9:30, 9:45. But that's because I'm up, no matter what, at 4:30 to pee. I mean, that's it. At 4:30, I pee. And yes, I can go back to sleep till 5:30 or 6. I can. But I have a show at 10. So guess what I need to do? I need to make and eat my breakfast. Then I need to do yoga or weights. And I need to text everybody, let them know I'm alive, check the headlines, and then get to the park and do an hour and a half walk with Ember, all before 10 o'clock. I need 4 hours to do that. So I get up at 5. And then I'm back home at 9, hopefully. Today, 9:45. Oh, honey, I'm fresh out the shower. And then I do the show. After lunch, in between 3 and 5, I'm so tired. I just, but it's because I've been going since 5 a.m. And by 9:30, I'm done. I have stayed out till 10:30 before, but I ain't seen midnight in a long time. And yes, if I want a boyfriend, if I want to date, they're out at night. I need to find a place in the afternoon a happy hour sort of thing where gay men go, because I ain't making it till 10, 11 o'clock. So what is y'all's sleep schedule? I'd like to hear from you. Down in the comments, what time do you go to bed? What time? Are you an early riser or are you a night owl? I know a lot of night owls. I used to be a night owl. In my 20s and 30s, honey, I wasn't in bed before 2 a.m. ever. Like, ever. And I often saw 3 or 4 a.m. But that's because I did afternoon drive. I was on at 3 in the afternoon. So I could sleep, and I didn't have Ember and didn't have the schedule with the dogs that I have. I had dogs, but I didn't have that, the schedule that I'm on. Well, you could change your schedule, Karel. My bladder could. So at 4:30, I wake up. Yes, I could go back to sleep till 8, 9, 10 o'clock. But with a show at 10 and a dog that needs walking and exercise that needs doing, because I prioritize exercise. I prioritize good food. I got to have time to cook. Now, if I ever do shows, like from 7 to, I'm thinking of doing shows at 3 in the afternoon, not the podcast. But if I go do a live show, which, by the way, Bill Maher has retired from live shows because he's afraid he'd be shot. He said that yesterday. He's not going to do any stand-up because he's afraid he's going to be shot. I feel the same way. I am very hesitant right now to go do live shows. I am. The country is so polarized, and these people are so crazy. And like the Raz Room, they don't have a metal detector. I don't wear a flak jacket on stage. Plus, if they shoot your head, they do a lot of good a flak jacket does. So Bill Maher says, nope, no more touring. He's afraid he'll be shot. So am I. I really am. It's a tough call to make. Do I go out and tour or not? Because it's scary. But yeah, how many of you, what time do y'all go to bed? What time do y'all go to bed? I go to bed at 11 on work nights, 11:30 midweek or on weekends. Oh, good for you, Sandy. I haven't seen 11:30 in a long time. Yes, back in the day, I would go to bed at like 3 or 4 a.m. and wake up in time for all my children at 12 noon. That was my schedule. Get to bed around 3 or 4 in the morning and wake up for all my children, and then one life to live. And I never watched General Hospital. So from 12 to 2, get up, eat and stuff while watching General Hospital, or while watching all my children. Back when there was Tina and, Susan Lucci was on there, and Tina was on One Life to Live, and it was Greg and Jenny, and oh yes. And what's his name? Adam and his brother, Adam Chandler and his brother that he played that part too. What was his brother's name? It was Adam Chandler and he played his brother. What was his name? Oh, I used to love them. His brother was a little simple. So yeah, no, that was my schedule before. Sleep at 3 in the morning and wake up for all my children. Those days are gone. Unless if I got a gig at night where I was working from 8 till 11, doing a show, then Ember and I would change our schedule. This show wouldn't be able to happen at 10 in the morning. And I could switch this show to 3 in the afternoon and, I could. But I like having more done by 6 a.m. than most people. By 7 in the morning, I've had a good breakfast. I have already exercised for 30 minutes and already created an emoji and sent it off to all my friends to let them know I'm alive. And read headlines and followed up on emails. All by 7 a.m. By 9 a.m., I've already walked 4 miles and done everything else. By noon, I've done all that, a show, and had lunch. Then come around 2 o'clock. Cup of tea at 3 to keep me going. 4:30, dinner with Ember. 6:30, walk. 7 o'clock, play ball. 7:30, wind down, watch TV until 9:30, and bed. That's my life. Ain't a bad life. But it's not the way to meet you people, is it? Oh, Lord, have mercy. But if I'm performing or rehearsing, I will change my schedule. So, universe, I'm open to your blessings. Bring them on. Bring me a show. Ready. All right, when we come back, greedy old baby boomers.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.
Showtime. showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
When we come back, they are the richest generation to ever exist, but most are keeping their wealth. Do they owe it to their kids, or should they just have a good time? Greedy baby boomers, when we return.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged. It's the Karel Cast. Listen daily on your favorite streaming service.
I can't stand the rain against my window. That was playing right before I went on. Tina Turner, I have a rainy day playlist. It's rained for 3 days in Vegas. It ain't never done that before. Well, it has, but you know what I'm saying. We got more rain in the last 3 days than we have in the last 300. I ain't making that up. I read it in the paper this morning. It rained and rained and rained. It's still drizzling today. It's still gray outside right now. It rained all afternoon yesterday. It rained all day the day before. Child, the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, rain, rain, rain. Everything's wet. In Vegas, ain't nothing ever wet. I live in a desert. Understand? Desert. D-E-S-E-R-T. 2 S's, it's dessert. 1 S, desert. I live in a desert. And child, it's wet. Ember's like, what's all this water? I'm like, well, climate change. The climate has changed. All right, we got so much to talk about here. I was just reading some of the headlines. This Comey thing. Child, that judge is going to throw it out. Going to throw it out like bad produce. Just going to throw it. You should be composting. Hello. Hello. Get the Hemi. Geme. It is the best composter I've ever had. I did a segment on it. You can go find it on my YouTube. And oh my God, it's the size of a trash can. You throw all your organic waste in there and it turns it into compost. And oh, it's so easy and wonderful, and I love it. Geme, Hemi. Oh my God, it's incredible. It changed my life. I barely take out the trash. I take out the trash like once a week now because there's just nothing organic in it. Oh yes, you should be composting. But yeah, the judge is about to throw out this Comey nonsense because the judge is agreeing that Donald Trump is just doing this to try to fuck with you. So they're like, and that's a very high bar to prove. Malicious prosecution is a very high bar to prove, but the judge is inclined to think that that's exactly what this is. So judges grilling government over apparent lapses in the Comey indictment as we speak. Grilling the government like bratwurst on a 4th of July, honey. I'm telling you right now. Vegan bratwurst, of course. And I read, before we get to the greedy generation, I read this great, I'm always up on the medical stuff. I am. My EPO, just for those of you keeping track, my EPO levels came back normal. Y'all like, what is an EPO level, Karel? Well, I'll tell you. I am slightly polycythemic always. And I mean slightly. Now, what that means is my red blood cells, hemoglobin, and hematocrit, the triad, are always slightly elevated. Right now, my red blood cell was 5.95. 5.8 is high. So as you can see, I'm not like at 10, but I'm at 5.95. Hemoglobin, the high is 17.3. I'm 17.1. I'm 17.3. Hematocrit, the high is 50.5. I'm 50.9. That sometimes goes up to where it's 6.1 for the red blood cells or whatever. But I'm always, 50% of my blood draws, I'm polycythemic. On 50%, I'm just right below. And on 50%, I'm a little bit higher. They attribute that to my oxygen falling down to 90, 91, 92 when I sleep, which is why I'm going to a pulmonologist to see if my apnea is controlled or if perhaps I need a CPAP or oxygen at night or something. However, it's also dropping during the day. So that's another reason for that. So one of the things they test is called your EPO, erythropoietin. That's how you pronounce it. Your kidneys make an enzyme to tell your bone marrow to make more red blood cells. That's how you make red blood cells. Your kidneys make an enzyme that tells your bone marrow to make red blood cells. So if your kidneys sense there's not enough oxygen in your blood, like if you're satting at 90 or 91 or 92, then your kidneys will tell your bone marrow to up the red blood cells. Now, if the bone marrow is upping the red blood cells without that chemical, you could have cancer. So if your EPO is low, but your red blood cells are high, they're going to look for cancer. If your EPO is high and your red blood cells are high, they're going to look for polycythemia vera, another cancer. But I don't have the JAK2 mutation. And so my EPO is normal. And my doctor was thrilled about that. So now my slight polycythemia up for grabs about what it is. There, did you learn something? Your kidneys make an enzyme to tell your bone marrow to make red blood cells. Did y'all know that? Did you learn something new today?
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
I've been crying a lot the last couple of days because Ember's been so happy. At the park, she's been running to see her friends. Here at home, she's been playing and running. And she's 10. She just turned 10. And I've also been crying because she's going to be such a loss, but that's coming. It's not yet, but she is 10. But she could do 13, 15, even 17. So keep your fingers crossed. Someone said you're 60, slow down. I'll slow down when I'm dead. You know, that's when I'll slow down. You know, one day, someone asked me one day to do a show about interpreting lab results because I'm very good at it. And I don't know if that'd be of interest to you guys, but I'm very, very good at it. You know, like I was concerned about my white blood cells being 4.3 and my doctor's all, why? That's above normal. Normal is 3.8 to 8.0. You're 4. I said, yeah, but I'm low end. She goes, you've been down there before and it's cyclical. It depends on the time of the day, the time of the year, what you've been doing, what you've been eating, if you have any inflammation. She goes, so long as it's not like, and my friend at the park, Jeannie, who's had cancer, she goes, after my chemo, my red blood cell count was, or my white blood cell count was 0.04. So she goes, I'll take your 4.3. But I do know how to interpret labs and I'm very, very good at it. And you should know too, just to know for when you get your lab back, like what does it mean? What are eosinophils? What are basophils? Most people don't know the components of their body and how their body works. What are they looking for in a urinalysis? They're looking for protein, blood cells, creatine, and bilirubin, because it's a test of your kidneys and your liver. What is that number, EGFR? What does that mean? That means estimated granular filtration rate. It tells them how your kidneys are. If you're over 60, it's probably 90 or 95. Mine's 98. I am told by my doctor my kidney function is extraordinary for a 63-year-old. I drink a gallon of water a day. So should you. So knowing your labs, you know, knowing your blood work is something that you should keep track of. Not your doctor, but you. Because you need to know over time, how are things going? What's up, what's down? What does it mean if it's up or down, or does it mean anything? Because half the time you can get an abnormal lab result and it doesn't really mean anything. It just means at that moment, that chemical was doing that. They look for patterns, unless it's something dire. And then, but for the most part, they look for patterns. If you have an elevated liver enzyme one time, they're not going to, sign you up for a transplant. But if you have elevated liver enzymes, 2 times or 3 times, then they're going to see if you've got fatty liver disease or whatever. So anyway, health is important. And baby boomers, Ray, their doggy lived to 16.5. Good for you. So the baby boomers. Now, I am technically a baby boomer, but I identify as Gen X. I act young. I adopt new technology. I listen to all the latest music. I could tell you all the new songs on Taylor Swift's album. All of that. So I stay pretty young. But technically, since I was born in 1962, I am a baby boomer. Even though I consider myself Gen X, my niece and nephew consider me Gen X, almost everyone that knows me considers me Gen X, technically I'm a boomer. So boomers have amassed more wealth than any generation in the history of generations. In America, baby boomers hold about $65 trillion in wealth. We could pay off the national debt and still have about $30 million left, or $30 trillion left. So boomers have a lot of money. Now, excuse me, not me, but maybe you do. But even me, they count my equity in this house, $200,000, $250,000 as wealth. And there's several articles now that they're not leaving it to their children. They're spending it. They're taking vacations. They're retiring well. They're not retiring in poverty. They're living it up. They are enjoying the fruits of their labors or their investments or however they've made their money. So there's this movement from Gen Y and Gen Z to get the boomers to leave them the money so they will have generational wealth. And here's the thing. According to all predictive models, Gen Z and Gen Y are not going to have the money-making opportunities en masse that baby boomers had. Meaning, some of Gen X and some of Gen Y are doing really well. They're doing online and they're making 10, 20 grand a month. And that's what influencers make online, by the way. There are influencers online who just sit there all day and give beauty tips or fitness tips or travel tips, and they're making millions a year. And I'm not making that up. But that's not a majority. So their wealth is divided. They have a lot of wealth, Gen Y and Gen Z at the top, but then below they have a lot less. So it's not equal. There's not like a bar curve. It's like either you're rich or you ain't got shit. Either you're a Gen Y or a Gen Z that can travel the world and do these suites. I told you I follow this guy on Instagram. Baby Stacks, I think is his name. He's so handsome. I can't take how cute he is. I really can't. He is, I can't. He's smoldering hot. That's how hot he is. And he's only 20 and he's got this incredibly deep voice. But God, if he turned 21 and said he wanted to go out with me, that fast. He's making a ton of money. He flew to Rome just to buy new clothes. He will have wished he saved that one day. But anyway, so they're saying that it's our obligation. It is the obligation of baby boomers to redistribute that wealth to Gen Y and Gen Z. They're also saying that we need to give up our homes. Gen Y and Gen Z are saying that Gen Xers and baby boomers need to move out of their large homes because they're empty nesters, give up their properties and move into smaller accommodations so they can then buy these larger homes and make them affordable. For a while, I used to think that way. For a while, I used to say it is a parent's responsibility to set their child up. And in some ways, I still feel that. If you're a millionaire, like Bill Gates says he's not giving much money to his kids. No, that's wrong. If you're a multimillionaire, you should set your kids up. Now, you don't have to set them up as multimillionaires, but you should make sure they can afford a house and they have a savings and that they don't have to pay for college, go into debt for college. You should cover all that stuff. And if you're that rich, your kids should get a stipend. They really should. If you're a baby boomer and you've got $5, $10 million and you've got kids, they should get some of that. They should. But all of it? No. Now that I'm older, I tend to think you made it. You invested. Life is expensive. Go live. So I want y'all to comment down below, okay, on a couple things. First of all, when do you go to bed? That's the first thing comment on. Another thing you comment down below, do you think we'll ever see the Epstein files? Because no is the answer from me. But number 3, do you feel that the richest generation there is, baby boomers, should leave their wealth to their children? Should they live frugally, Or, I don't want to say frugally, but should they not overspend? Because you got boomers out there living on cruise ships, honey. God bless them. It's $120,000 a year to live on a cruise ship. If I had $120K a year, I'd live on a cruise ship. Absolutely. Why not? Never have to cook. Never have to clean. Oh, God, yes, I'd do it. But what about a hotel? I'd actually live in a hotel. If I had the money, I'd live in a 2-bedroom suite in a hotel. Absolutely. I always wanted to. I always thought I would. In LA, Chateau Marmont is a place that stars do that. They live there. That's where they live. Many celebrities have lived in the bungalows at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, lived there. That's their address. I would do that if I could. Live at a hotel. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'd love that there was always restaurants and a bar and great places to visit your guests. And I'd love living at a hotel, a nice hotel. I used to watch that show Hotel, set in San Francisco. It was called the St. Regis, I think the hotel was. And I loved that. James Brolin was on it. He was so sexy. And what's her name? What is her name? I see her long black hair. And then there was an older woman who was a big movie star, like Olivia de Havilland or something. She was in it too. So I was growing up, I thought that would be me. Well, it wasn't, but oh well. So do you think that they should now? Never Just Jay in the chat room says that transfer of wealth is an American tradition. It is. I will fully agree with him. Your parents left you whatever they had. Now, if you're my age, your parents didn't have shit because they came out of the Depression. So they may have left you a life insurance policy, but my mom left me in debt. That's what she left me. But I love her and I love my dad, but they didn't leave me anything. No house, no cars, no life insurance policies, nothing. I went in debt for the funerals. Do you owe it to your children to transfer your wealth? Or should you just spend as you want and whatever's left they get? Should you actively plan to leave your kids money? Or should you just live your life and then if there's money left, they get that? I'd love to hear your comments down below on the video. Please, we got to get the comments up on the video because that's how the algorithm finds us. Do you know I found out that on Apple Podcasts yesterday, I'm #1 in certain keywords? Certain keywords, if you type into search Apple Podcast, I come up #1. Isn't that something? But anyway, hi everybody on Apple. Do you believe it is the responsibility of people like Barbara Streisand, who's 82, 83, to leave her wealth to her son Jason, who's got a great album out? Jason Gould, her son, can sing. He's got a great voice. Must be rough being her son and have a great voice. But do you think that she owes it to him? I mean, she couldn't spend all her money. She's worth like $400 million, but she could leave it all to charity or something. Do you think it is incumbent upon the richest generation to transfer that wealth? And should baby boomers be moving out of their homes? In other words, there's many a baby boomer living in a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house on property and everything. They don't use it anymore, but it's been their home forever, so they just stay there. Do you think they should sell those properties, make them available, or give them to their kids and they move into smaller properties? Do you think that is right, Miss M? Go girl. Do you think that is the responsibility of baby boomers? I would love to hear your thoughts. Down below, they say, owe it? No. If you can, it's nice. I agree. I agree. Ray Renati says we are still supporting our 25-year-old kids. They can't find jobs to support themselves. That is a real problem. Yes, that is a real problem. Kids nowadays, look, their jobs are drying up faster than a 90-year-old woman's vagina. No, I did not say that. Anyway. Ew! I don't know why that even popped into my head. All these Epstein file talks. The outlook is bleak for young people when it comes to jobs. They're drying up. And in 10 years, robots will be here. There's already robot bartenders. There won't. I got to tell you, if you're a woman with a good body, become a stripper. So one of the murder, death, kill shows I watched last night was called Love, Sex, Murder. That's what it's called. I love these titles. Love, Sex, Murder. So I watched it. And it's about murders that occur around strip clubs. And every one of the strippers, everyone has said how they literally would have garbage bags filled with cash. Honey, if I had boobs and an ass that someone wanted to see, I'd be shaking it right now. Yes, I would. Put that dollar up and, oh, yes, girl. Go on, Miss Ember. Here you go. Come on. There you go. There you go, little girl. I had to smooth out her pillow so she could get on it. Go ahead, honey. Go ahead. After all, she is my world. So their job outlook is bleak because AI is taking some jobs. You know, we had our music advocacy panel meeting yesterday for Grammy, and I'm on the music advocacy panel for my second year. Can I just tell you, yesterday I talked to Peter Asher, talked to him, interacted, said things to him. Y'all are like, who? Who? Peter Asher just produced the Barbra Streisand album, Partners Volume 2. He is the inventor of a sound, the 70s sound of California. Peter Asher is one of the most in-demand, incredible music producers alive. And yesterday, he and I were just chit-chatting. Oh, I was so happy. I was like, I'm talking to Peter Asher. Oh, my God. All right, when we come back, there's more. Don't go away.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
So we're never going to see the Epstein files because they're going to say they're part of an ongoing investigation and you just can't see them. So that's happening. How old do you think you need to be before you give away your money? Are baby boomers, should they give away this wealth that they have amassed? $65 trillion all told. That, by the way, that your brain can't comprehend how much money that is. Billions and trillions, your brain just can't wrap around. When you hear that Elon Musk is going to be a trillionaire, you don't understand how much money that is. It's something like he could spend $1 million a day for 10,000 years. I mean, really, that's how much money $1 trillion is. So is it incumbent upon the older generation to give their wealth to the younger generation? Because they're not. So are baby boomers the greediest generation alive? They're being called the greediest generation alive. They are not. But I will say this. Baby boomers and some Gen Xers are also supporting a lot of their kids because their kids, can't find jobs. And that's just only going to get worse. There's going to have to be a national salary. We're going to have to take the profits from AI and make a national salary because people aren't going to have jobs. And we don't, they're cutting SNAP, they're cutting social programs. It's rough. It is rough. All right. Anything else on the agenda before we adjourn for the day? And tomorrow's Thursday, the final show of the week. Thank you all for joining me. On Sunday, there's going to be a Patreon call at 5:30 with my patrons. I already sent out an email about that, but if you missed it, just know that this Sunday at 5:30 Pacific time, there'll be a call where we do a video call and you can all talk to me, see me, say hello, all of that. If you're a patron, and if you are, I love you and appreciate you at patreon.com/reallykarel. I'm going to be irresponsible. I am talking about money. I don't have thousands in the bank, but I'm about to spend thousands. You know why? Because I fucking want to. First of all, my blender broke this morning. I need a blender. It broke. The blender that I have always wanted is a Vitamix Ascend X5. It is a $750 blender, which I will use, by the way, for the things it's meant to be. I cook. I'm a cook. I'm almost a chef. Now it's on sale on Black Friday for $5.99, and I set up an AI chatbot at Honey. Okay, Honey, 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 through PayPal. I did what's called a drop list. I put this product on it and told it if it gets down to $4.99 to let me know. So I'm going to buy me this blender one way or another. At least I think I am. When it comes down to it, I may not do it. But I do need a new blender. My Vitamix or my Ninja broke, and the container, just the container that broke, is $95. I'm not going to pay $95 for a container. Just get a new blender. Because this one's like 10 years old. The other thing I'm spending money on is I need a new Mac for all of the video that I'm going to be doing in the new year and all of that. My single comes out December 6th. I Dance Because. Go pre-order it, please. That really helps. If you could, go type in Karel, I Dance Because, and pre-order it. That will help me chart in the Apple iTunes and all that. Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. It's going to be a great single, remixed by Dirty Disco, Rafael Mesa, Leo Frappier, all kinds of people. So go and get Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. Pre-order it, please. But I need a new computer. Mine is 5 years old, and I need a new one. And they're $2,500 out the door. So unless one of you want to buy me a new computer for Christmas, I'm going to put it on my Apple card at 0% interest for 18 months. And over the next 18 months, use the Patreon money to pay for the computer. Because I need it for the show. I got to have one. That one out there is getting slow and clunky, and videos taking forever to process because Adobe keeps getting better and better and more AI, and it takes up more processing power. So I need a new computer. And this morning I thought, and you're going to get one. You know why? Because you're getting old. You're going to die. I'm 63. I ain't got any kids. I don't have anyone to leave my generational wealth to. So I am getting me a new computer and a new blender. And if anyone hates me for that, you don't want to be my patron because you think I'm spending your money wrong or whatever, I apologize. But I cook a lot. And I use the blender for my cooking for the show. Vitamix should give me one. You know what? I'm going to email them. They should give me one. They give them away to influencers. They should give me one. I'm going to be using it on air. I'm going to be showing you how to cook with it. So anyway, I'm going to spend some money on myself over this holiday season. Yes, I am. I am. And I'll feel bad about it because I'll be in debt. But you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Depends on the attitude of the kids. If you are feeling discounted, rarely being included in their lives, then I'd rather donate it. Amen. Amen. AI can't install plumbing or welding. Yes, and those are low jobs, by the way. You're right. If kids today, so there's a great Twilight Zone, and it was about how robots take over the world, and all these smart people are out of jobs. But you know who has the job? The guy that fixes the robots, the guy that fixes the computers. Yes, be that guy. Although there'll be robots that can do plumbing. There'll be robots. I mean, I know y'all think there won't be. There's going to be. And healthcare. That's where they're going to really take over. Because it takes 3 nurses for one full shift, meaning 24 hours. And if you've got a nursing home with 50 residents, then you need 20 nurses. And if that means you need 60 nurses for 3, or one robot. So they're going to really take over healthcare. Yes. So yeah, if I have anything left, if my sister's still alive, she'll get it, or Jake and Heather will get it. And that's pretty much that. Ember is in my will. If I die before Ember, then, she gets cared for. There's a $35,000 death policy that I have through SAG-AFTRA. If I die before Ember, whoever takes Ember gets that $35,000 for the care for her life. Oh, yes. Got to remember your pets, honey. Don't forget your pets. All right, I am almost out of here. I am Karel. Be who you want to be. So it doesn't hurt anybody. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. It's only a day away. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Patrons, patreon.com/reallykarel or youtube.com/reallykarel. Like, subscribe, leave comments on the video. Have a great afternoon this Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to go get stitches out my back. Stitches out my back. That's what I'm going to do. Won't that be fun? They don't give you any drugs for that.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.